So, I don't know if y'all know, but I bought a house. And one of my favorite places to record is always just sitting on the floor in front of the couch. If y'all watched my Wind Down Wednesday videos with my co-host Kai, then you will remember in the beginning, that's where we used to sit. It's comfortable. This is where I prefer to sit and record. So today I wanted to bring you guys a video just basically discussing the difference between my experience with getting my first set of locks and getting my second set of locks. It was two totally different experiences from the beginning of the consultation process to the end of the installation process. So y'all know I got my handy dandy notes here, just so I can make sure that I hit on each point that I wanted to share and not miss anything for anyone who still has the question of, you know, why did you comb out your locks and cut your hair just to get your locks put back in? I have gotten that question a lot, actually. It is pretty funny because I don't know, I guess, so as I was looking back at a lot of my old videos and a lot of my old TikToks, one of the number one complaints that I had was how my grid looked. And I just wasn't happy with my grid. And I tried as hard as I could to hang in there for about almost 3 years. I had that first set of locks for almost 3 years. I love having Sisterlocks. I knew it was the hairstyle for me, you know, well before I even got them. But it was just, you know, trying to stick it out, but then just ultimately being very unhappy with the way my locks were. Things that I want to say, if you're getting Sisterlocks, I should say, or any kind of locks, one of the number one pieces of advice that I will give that you didn't ask for, so one of the number one pieces of unsolicited advice that I would give is do your research on Locticians. I did, but I still went against my better judgment when I decided to choose the Loctician for my first set of locks. Like, you know, look at their work and talk to some of their clients. If you can, you know, find any of their clients, you know, ask them if they have a page where you could just look at all of the work that they've done in the past. It matters. So like I said before in my last video, I was forewarned about this Loctician, but I kind of felt like I was at the point of no return. If I had to do it all over again, I probably would have just forfeited the deposit. I probably would have forfeited it. It's just, with what I dealt with, it wasn't worth it. So let's get into the differences between the two experiences, because I'm a little bit more experienced now. I had a set of locks, got rid of them. Now I got a new set of locks. So let's talk about it. So the consultation. So we'll refer to my first set of locks is Loctician, I should say, as Loctician A. And I don't know if my current Loctician, you know, I don't know if she wants her information out there because she's so jam-packed with clients. I don't even think she's accepting new clients. I think that I literally am the last new client that she accepted. So not only was she the original Loctician that I was looking for, that I couldn't find her, she also accepted me as like her last new client for a while. So it was destined, right? So so we'll refer to her as Loctician P, as in Paul. In Wisconsin, the Sisterlock community is a very, very small community. So I'll keep their names private just because they all know each other. And even in my installation with my current Loctician P, she was talking to me about my first experience, and I kept Loctician A anonymous, but in the conversations that we were having, I think she might have been in her head narrowing down who the Loctician was. But I never said who the Loctician was, just because the community is so small, and I just kind of wanted to keep her anonymous, just in case they were really good friends. Because all of them know each other. It's probably about maybe a total of 15 Locticians in Wisconsin that do Sisterlocks. So I know they know each other. So with the first set of locks, let's talk about the consultation process. The consultation process, I was totally gypped. So I started to realize when my auntie was getting Sisterlocks and going through the process that some of the things that she was telling me was going on prior to her even making her appointment for her installation. I'm like, I didn't get any of that. So with my first set of locks with Loctician A, I didn't get the tester locks to decide which size I wanted, because technically one of the things that they ask you in your consultation is to come with your hair clean and dry with no product in it, just in its natural state, so they can see like your density and, you know, how your hair is. And with the first set of locks, I didn't get tester locks. So they give you 3 different sizes, and I didn't get that. So when I did my first set of locks, I was not even aware that I was supposed to get tester locks. So that's just how naive you can be walking into a situation where you're not really sure. So I didn't even know I was supposed to get those. So that was something that happened. I didn't get any tester locks with that first consultation. I came in with my hair clean, but my hair wasn't dry. It was damp, you know, which shouldn't have mattered. But, you know, I didn't even know I was supposed to get the tester locks, and she didn't give them to me. So that was one thing that was different in the consultation. With the first one, it was just kind of like I went in. She wanted to see my hair, how long it was. She undid one of my twists, stretched my hair, and was like, oh, okay. And she was just like, this is how much I'm going to charge you. $1 million, right? But with my second set of locks, Loctician P, it was so different. When she asked me to come in with my hair clean, dry, with no product in it, just in its natural state. And it was just so different. So when I kind of got there, she, you know, showed me some literature that I had to look over. I kind of read through some of that stuff. She had like a couple different things she wanted me to read through. She also measured my head and my hair, which I thought was interesting. She measured like from here to here, from front to back, like from ear to ear. She was taking like measurements. And then also she took my hair down in each section, like the front, the middle, and the back, and the sides, because I had my hair in like regular twists. And she literally measured my hair in all of these sections. She was measuring my hair. So it was very scientific. Didn't get that the first time. Then she said, you know, I'm going to give you some tester locks to see what size you're interested in. But when she looked at my hair and she was like, you know, your density, you have a lot of density in the back, but your hair is a little thinner in the front, which is true. You know, so then she kind of talked about, I'm going to give you the tester locks, but I think this size that she, you know, is going to be the best size for you, because you want all of your locks to be, you know, uniform. And so when she's talking about this, I'm like, yes, because one of the #1 issues that I had was that my locks weren't uniform. They were all different sizes, and I did not have a straight part in my head. So I told her, this is what I'm looking for. I'm looking for really neat parts. I'm looking for clearly defined sections. And I'm looking for those sharp, like, squares that everybody has when they get Sisterlocks, when you see it on all of these Sisterlock channels and all of these Sisterlock forums. And that's what I wanted. That's what I initially thought I was going to get, but I didn't. And so she put the 6 tester locks in, like this section over here. And then she put 1 in the front, because she wanted me to see that because my hair density was thinner in the front than it was in the back, what the difference in the lock size, what the difference in the locks was going to be. But they were going to be the same size. So they are all clearly the exact same size. It's just, don't be alarmed that some of these are a little bit thinner. That's fine. It'll work itself out because there's 3 different stages that your locks go through. And we'll talk about that in another video. So then I had to sign a contract. So with my second loctician, I had to sign a contract just kind of stating that, you know, I don't know if the Sisterlock, I don't know if that's confidential. Because, you know, Sisterlocks is a trademark. And I don't want to disrespect the trademark or the creator. So that's why I'm not going to show my grid in these videos. But I'll show my locks and I'll show you my parts and stuff like that. But I have pictures of my clear grid. And I don't want to disrespect the process, the trademark. Because I love my locks. And, you know, I'm a part of the Sisterlock community. So I'll uphold the standard of, you know, not giving away their trademark secrets. So, but I did have to sign a contract. I'm not really going to discuss what the contract said, but I'll find out from my loctician if that's okay. And if it is, I'll tell you guys what the contract said. But if you have Sisterlocks, you already know what the contract said if your loctician is good and not like the first loctician I had, Loctician A. So then after that, there was a clear defined waiting period that I had to wait before getting my locks installed. That was true with the first set. I understood more why with the second set because Loctician P, my current loctician, she's really good at explaining all of the information of why this stuff is as important as it is. And so I understood better now why there's that waiting period between the consultation and the installation. So, but with Loctician P, I'm telling her, hey, I've already been through all this. We could just go ahead and get started tomorrow. And she was like, no, we can't. That waiting period is for a reason. But then it dawned on me, like, no, I hadn't been through all this. Even though I had Sisterlocks, this process, I was totally cheated out of the true process. I'm just going to keep it real. I was cheated out of the real Sisterlock process with the first set of locks I had. So I'm just going with the flow because I didn't go through any of this before. All right, so we can talk about the installation process and how those are different because it was totally different. So my experience with Loctician A with the installation process, it took a total of 35 hours that she smashed into 3 days, which was brutal. It was tough. But then I was kind of like on the other side of it, like, ooh, I ain't never got to do that again. So I thought. So I really wasn't tripping because I thought that, hey, I'm going to get this great set of locks. I'll never have to sit through a 35-hour installation again. So then also she was extremely rough and heavy-handed. Like I said, I'm not tender-headed at all. Not by far. But the process of having her put my locks in was just so painful because she was so rough and she was so heavy-handed. Then, on top of that, I did not have a straight part in my whole head with the installation. It just kind of seemed like on the last day, the third day, that she was just like rushing through it, just trying to hurry up and get it done and get it over with. And my locks reflected that. And then also, all of my locks were different. All of my Sisterlocks were different sizes. So they were just so random, y'all. Like, I had some that were so thin that I lost a couple of locks. They broke off. With the density of my hair, that should have never happened. Because I have enough hair and a lot of density so that they all could have been a nice thickness to where none of them would break off as the time went on. But I had lost a couple of locks in the front. And also I had some that were just really big and some that were really skinny. So that was that with that installation. And then, you know, one of the things that was a little bit different with my first set of locks, you know, she kind of told me, hey, bring everything that's going to make you feel comfortable. Here's some suggestions. Now, with the second set of locks, she really didn't have to tell me that because I already knew. But then also she had like snacks and beverages and candy and all that kind of stuff set up in her shop, Loctician P. So that was pretty nice. So you really didn't have to bring too much stuff because she had, you know, a lot of stuff there. So then with my second set of locks with Loctician P, it was, so she had designated that she thought it would take 12 hours. So her initial, because now my hair is shorter now. When I first got my first set of locks, when I got my first set of locks, my hair was really long. But getting this set of locks, my hair is much shorter. So she estimated that it would take 12 hours. And we were going to split that into 3 days and do 4-hour sessions each day. Which I was like, okay, I didn't think it was going to take that long. I figured it might just take 8 hours or whatever. But no, it ended up taking 17 hours. So if you look at my shorts or some of my pictures on YouTube, you'll see that I had day 1 of 3, day 2 of 3, day 3 of 3. And I was like, oh, we're not done yet. And then it was day 4 of. So it actually ended up taking 17 hours in total, which I actually liked the way she did it. Broke it into 4-hour segments, 4-hour days, because it wasn't so long and exhausting and boring and tiring. Like 4 hours goes by like that. And she was so much more gentle. She was very particular. Like I'm telling y'all, before she did my installation, she was measuring, parting, measuring, reparting, measuring again, then parting a different way, measuring the sections. Like this lady, oh my God, my new Loctician, Loctician P, she is so particular and so calculated with the way she was doing my parts. That's why my parts are so straight and you can clearly see the individual squares of the locks. Like she did such a great job on maintaining, on getting those sections just neat. Because I told her I want my foundation to be neat. Because once your foundation is right, it's going to be right throughout the process. And then another thing that she told me too is through the retie process, she keeps the parts. So she says she makes sure she keeps the original parts, keep them as straight as they are. And she doesn't deviate from the parts. Or, you know, as it grows out and you know, like I could tell that my first set, hair was being connected from sections that it shouldn't have been connected from. It was just bad, y'all. So she was very gentle. And all of my locks are the same exact size, even though the density in the front is a little thinner than the back. And even when she finished, she did the thing that you see the people in the videos have where they section off each section of your grid and do the Bantu knots. I did not get that with my first set of locks, but she did that with this set, and I just felt like this installation of the second set was just so much better than the first. It was everything that I thought it was going to be and expected when I originally wanted Sisterlocks. So then the pricing for the first set, the installation was very expensive. And that was based off of the length of my hair, we think. Because she didn't measure anything. It was just scribble, scrabble. Here's your price, right? But her reties were cheaper. And this, with Loctician P, with my second set of locks, the installation was cheaper. But I'm going to assume that that was due to the fact that my hair was shorter. And I think her reties are going to be more expensive. I haven't had, well, you know, when you have Sisterlocks, your first retie is included in the installation price. But every retie after that you have to pay for. And I think hers might be a little bit more pricey because she charges a flat rate of $50 per hour. So she estimated that my reties might be 4 hours. So that's going to be a lot more expensive than the reties for the first set. So those were just some of the things that I noticed were differences in the process. that I wanted to share with you guys about my first set of locks versus my second set of locks. But then also my overall review is, like I said, I really feel like I was cheated in the first set out of the full process, the full experience. And this set and this experience was literally everything that you hear in other people's videos, and when you see the pictures, and when you see, I follow a lot of young women, or I follow a lot of women that have Sisterlocks. And so when they were talking about their experience with the installation, or some of them even have video snippets, it was exactly that. The first time it was just kind of like, come on, hurry up, let's get this done. I did not get that full experience. And so I'm extremely happy with this set. I know this is my final set of locks. I know that I won't have to be combing out my locks and cutting them out again, because it's just different. It just looks totally different. I was looking back at old videos, and I'm looking at my hair, and I could never see the parts. I could never see the grid when I was looking at old pictures and old videos. And even when I would go get my hair professionally styled, she would have to struggle to get straight sections because I didn't really have straight parts. So when you see some of my old hairstyles that I was getting professionally done, the sections are on an angle because there were no straight parts. It was just different. But I am extremely happy with this set. Like I said, I love having Sisterlocks. I'm excited to be back with my Sisterlocks. I had a year off letting my hair grow back so that I can get them reinstalled. But what I didn't realize, for any of you out there interested in getting Sisterlocks, I didn't know that you could get your Sisterlocks installed on 2 inches of hair. I thought it had to be 4 inches or more. So they can go as short as 2 inches. I didn't know that. If I had known that, would I have gotten? No, I probably would have waited. I probably would have waited. I mean, I don't feel like I could have done much with 2-inch locks, you know. So I still probably would have waited the full year. But yeah, it was a full year, and here we are. So for anybody asking, why would I comb out and cut out my locks just to get them redone? The plan was always to get them redone. And here we are. Thank you guys so much for watching. You can go ahead and subscribe, like the video, leave comments, ask questions, because I'm sure that there are some people out there who still have questions about, you know, my process or what is different. Maybe there's some things that I missed, or maybe there's just something that you want to know, because I only answered the one question, which was the most common question. But if you guys have any questions, feel free to drop those in the comments below, and I'll answer them. I reply to everybody. So if you leave a comment, you will get a reply. Bye, you guys. See you in the next video.